It's now my pleasure to introduce Professor M.G. Finn. Professor Finn came to Georgia Tech in 2012 after 15 years at the Scripps Institute. He's the director of the Georgia Tech Chemical Biology Center here at Georgia Tech. And among his many honors, he's received the 2011 Scripps Research Outstanding Mentor Award and the 2012 Alexander von Humboldt Foundation Research Award. He's one of the most highly cited living chemists in the world, and I can tell you that he would not be at Georgia Tech if it weren't for this facility. MG?
Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you, Bud. President Peterson, Chancellor Huckabee, Regent Tarbutton, Don Highland. It's my great honor to represent the undergraduate students, the graduate students, the postdoctoral research fellows, the staff, the faculty who were having a chance, going to have a chance to work in this marvelous building. Some may wonder why it's so expensive, why we had to come to you for so much money, and maybe why it's needed at all. So let me try to explain a little bit about what goes on here. You may have heard the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, in the biomedical research biz, it takes a city to raise an idea. Now, you may have an idea, someone has an idea, has a good one, and if she is wise, what she does right away with that idea goes and talks to people. Because if it's an important idea in biomedical science, it's very likely to touch on many more than one field, many more than her specialty. So it makes a big difference if the people she needs to talk to are down the hall or on the next floor or bumping into her at the coffee cart. So that's job number one. But in this business, it's not enough to get an idea and write it down and then take a bow. You actually have to test the idea. You have to see if it's right or wrong, or if it needs modification, and if it's going to be important, if what you've thought of will have an impact on children's health or something else. And to do that, you actually need to do tests. We actually run physical experiments and calculations, which means that what we do here is both a craft as well as an intellectual exercise. And so you need an infrastructure that supports that. And some of the things we need to use to test these ideas in these very complex fields are very expensive. These instruments that no one research laboratory can have, but that are absolutely essential for the work in this field to proceed. And so a facility like this provides an unparalleled opportunity for exploring these questions and discovering these diseases. This is the vision of the city. A city is composed of different neighborhoods. Different neighborhoods in a city have different character, have different infrastructure, have different people. And you'll see a video in a few minutes that talks about the neighborhoods in this building. And this is the vision that Georgia Tech has actually had for 20 years, since the establishment of the Biotech Quad that is right over there, and is a testament to those like visionary Bob Neerum, who created the Institute for Bioengineering and Biosciences here. This is the way Georgia Tech works. IBB, by the way, celebrates its 20th anniversary this year. And so EBB is the next step in this journey. So this video will talk about the neighborhoods that we've created here, which exist to feed off of each other, and we're very proud of that. But what the video cannot talk about, because we don't have enough time in that video, is to describe the remarkable community of people that have been attracted to this building and Georgia Tech with this philosophy and the energy that they provide. These people come from every stage of professional development. We have high schoolers in this building all the way to near retirees. They are of every race, every faith, every sexual orientation, from nearly every continent, and from vastly different social and economic backgrounds. We have different career goals. We have different ways of thinking and different ways of working, but we're all drawn to the beautiful, complex, challenging romance that is biomedical research. The problems we work on are so complex and so important, they cannot be solved by only one person. It takes a city to raise an idea. It's really all hands on deck, and this building then gives us a wonderful environment in which we can work together to make a real difference in the human condition. So to those who inspired the creation of this building and its future companions, to those who worked so hard to plan it and to build it, especially Georgia Tech's Capital Planning Group, Howard Wertheimer and his colleagues, and a shout out to Hung Lu and Todd Streelman, colleagues of mine who did incredible heavy lifting in the planning and programming of this building while doing their regular jobs, which is doing some of the best science and engineering around. To the state of Georgia, the people of Georgia, the governor's office, our state legislators, the university system, and general philanthropic partners, and especially Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, whom I've grown to really treasure working with. All of us who have the privilege of working in this remarkable city in a building are humbly and profoundly grateful. Now let's watch that video. Thank you.
Something extraordinary is happening at Georgia Tech. We are transforming approaches to disease and human health through a visionary new facility, the Engineered Biosystems Building.
The Engineered Biosystems Building is a strategic resource for the biosciences sector, one of the fastest growing industries in the state. EBB provides outstanding students, faculty, and staff with the resources they require for success. It is an investment in our future. It also provides an environment for discoveries, many of which will become innovations that will save and enrich lives for generations to come.
As a public-private partnership between the state of Georgia and the philanthropy of individuals, corporations, and foundations, EBB features 200,000 square feet of multidisciplinary research space. The building brings together scientists and engineers to increase our understanding of complex diseases and to generate new drugs and new therapies for cancer, arthritis, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and other disorders.
Georgia Tech is poised through tremendous development over the last years, and our position as leaders in the biosciences, bioengineering, biotechnology, to really and truly reach a new level, and this new facility will allow us to do that.
Building on Georgia Tech's strength as a leader in biomedical engineering and the biological sciences, EBB is the first phase in a long-term plan to expand the infrastructure and resources in these vitally important fields. It is located at 10th Street between State Street and Atlantic Drive, which is reopened as a pedestrian walkway. The facility is adjacent to the Biotechnology Complex, the U.A. Whitaker Biomedical Engineering Building, the Ford Environmental Science and Technology Building, the Molecular Science and Engineering Building, the Parker H. Petit Biotechnology Building, and the Marcus Nanotechnology Building. The research that is being done within EBB is good for Georgia's economy